just getting into strength training, but you want to keep all that incredible endurance that you have, watch this.
Our next caller is Luke from Ohio.
Luke, what's up, man? How can we help you?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good.
All right.
So about 6 years ago, I started my fitness journey. I was just doing normal strength training focused around powerlifting and seeing great results. I continued this journey up until about 11 months ago. I plateaued pretty hard on like all my lifts, couldn't see any gains, and I knew a change was necessary. So having little to no cardio experience, I figured an increase in cardio would be a good starting point to round out my overall fitness. And as someone who is goal-centric, I needed some sort of goal to center my cardio training around. This is when I decided to compete in my first Ironman. After completing this goal a few months ago, I once again want to start building as much strength and muscle as possible while keeping some of the cardiovascular gains I have made during my Ironman journey. Is this possible? What is the best route I should take to make serious progress in my strength gains while also being a decent endurance athlete?
I like this, dude.
Yeah.
This is cool. Let me ask a little bit more in regards to like keeping some of this, right? So some could be a wide range.
Yeah,
like,
you got to define
Right.
that.
so do you want to just have like a really good mile time still, or do you still want to just be able to throw your sneakers on and run for a half marathon? Like
Right.
how much endurance do you want to have? Like how much do you care about that as your primary, and then how much do you care about packing on muscle or building strength? Like give me an idea of like the ratio we're looking at here.
So when I first started, I could really only run, 3 miles without just being completely gassed. So I think right now would probably, if I could just throw on my sneakers and just run, 8-9 miles pretty easily, I think that would be like a good 2 hours or so a week of, like zone 2 training is kind of what I'm looking at.
Okay. I would do a traditional strength training program. You want to build muscle, so a MAPS anabolic would be perfectly fine. And if you ran, now you want to be able to run, what, 8 to 9 miles?
Yeah.
If you ran 6 miles once a week, I think you'd be able to do that. I wouldn't run 9 miles every week. I'd run about 6, and when you feel good, push it. So you run faster. When you don't feel so good, run a little slower. But that'll keep you in striking distance of being able to run 9 miles. Now, with MAPS anabolic, I will add, after following that program, you're going to want to go with something a little more mobility focused, because just running and just MAPS anabolic too long will probably result in some mobility issues, because running is so linear. You're just running in one direction, and MAPS anabolic is basically all in one plane, right? You're really getting strong, those foundational lifts. So after MAPS anabolic, I would go MAPS performance and continue to run, 6 miles once a week. And that should keep you where you're at.
Also keep in mind what's really cool about cardio is, as long as you don't go the complete opposite direction, you can get that back really quick. Like it sounded like you played sports. I mean, you probably remember, before football, basketball, whatever you played, like used to call it hell week, and for 1 week, coach ran the shit out of you. But it was crazy. By week 2, I could run a full game, no problem. I could go from playing video games and eating pizza all summer with my buddies to all of a sudden, okay, hell week hits, and now I can run up and down the court. That week was miserable, but then after that week, like you adapt cardiovascularly really quick. Yeah. So as long as you don't like massively go from like the guy who could run an Ironman to like being a couch potato and never running or lacing up, you'd be surprised how quickly you can get that right back. So, I think just doing these 15 to 20 minute kind of leisurely runs 1 to 3 times, no more a week is enough to keep you in cardiovascular shape to where you'll have, and especially too, if you follow programs like MAPS Performance, which has like a little bit of a stamina endurance component in there. That combined with that, like you're gonna keep pretty good cardiovascular shape.
Take the seasonal approach, like it in terms of you signing and getting yourself involved with another competition, another Ironman. In between that, like you take a few months where we're just focusing completely on strength training, but you're supplementing that in between on these days to maintain a bit of a cardiovascular endurance, but not intensively, right? So you're bringing that intensity down quite a bit, and you're sacrificing that now and moving more on the strength side of it. And you just undulate those. So you kind of like plan it out throughout the year based off of like what types of events you want to sign up for. And so there's nothing wrong with that. And that's basically what most athletes do anyways, is you got to account for this off season where we're putting the work in back in the body to strengthen, maintain muscle mass, also keep those joints nice and fresh and healthy. And so, mass performance, we do need to move in different planes. We need to supplement that so you stay strong in there. You don't have problems of this overuse and turn that into injury.
Do you have either one of those?
Yeah, as I say, do you have any?
No, I do not.
All right, so we'll send you MAPS Anabolic, and then after that, I would go performance.
Okay.
But once now that you have the stamina, if you maintaining it's not. I mean, you're not going to be able to maintain what you did for the Ironman, but what you said you should be able to maintain without too much work.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I just don't want to lose everything I've had, and I still want to meet goals like specifically in the strength in the strength world. So
the interesting thing about performance adaptations is getting them is harder than keeping them.
Yep.
Very true with strength training, less true with other adaptations, but there's still some truth there. So cardio is more affected by not doing as much, but still you want to run 8-9 miles. Like if you ran, like I said, 5 to 6 miles once a week, every week, you'd be able to go 9 miles and you should be fine.
Easy. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks you guys. I really appreciate it.
You got it, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah. Thanks.
Did they do Hell Week for basketball too?
Yeah.
Really?
Every
Double days?
Yeah, we do liners and stuff.
Yeah.
They did double days for basketball too?
Yeah. We used to,
Wow.
so morning 6 a.m. was in cardio, and then at night we played the skill.
God.
So it was
heavy conditioning.
and you just for one week,
front-loaded.
1 week was hardcore, training, and then by the second week you're already running up and down that court pretty damn good, man. That first week is rough. It's rough.
I didn't play obviously football or basketball, but I remember when they did Hell Week, I said I'm going to do this on my own with like workouts and stuff, and it's just brutal. Twice a day.
Yeah.
Oh, kills you.
I mean, when you're young like that, you're so resilient. You can get away
Isn't
with
that
a lot.
funny?
Yeah, get
if
away.
I did
with
that
a lot.
now.
Yeah, I would never do that now, and I don't think you need to do that extreme to obtain like kind of what he's wanting to do. I think what you gave him as advice, which is as long as you can run relatively close to where you want to maintain, you're fine.
Yep.
And then it's literally like if you had this plan where I'm going to go for a 12, 15 mile run with my buddies in 2
You'll be
weeks,
able
like
to.
yeah, you could
No
literally train for that.
And you probably wouldn't even need to. To be honest with you.
a week or two before, and you'd be ready to go.